for selling, just honest guidance, quality equipment, and professional local installation. We'll explain your options, work within your budget, and let you decide what's right at your pace. For a straightforward, no pressure, free in-home consultation, call 630-616-6249 or visit allaboutaccess.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
Back in the day, when you had to make your money, honestly, you had to know things. You had to be an expert in things. You had to base your decisions on knowledge. We're all so blessed. We remember those days. I'm so blessed because I not only remember them, I remember the people I would turn to for their opinion and advice on a multitude of different items, especially if it had to do with money. Whether it was cash equities, commodities, financial products, I always would go to the cow guy. Back then, I just knew him as Scott. In fact, he's on my phone as Scott Cow. That's it. Because he was an expert before he was on CNBC, BBC, CNN, Sky TV. Because he worked his way up and he produced on knowledge. Scott the Cow Guy Shellady also has a weakness for Teddy Pendergrass. And like a Democrat judge in Georgia, he will take his robe off if he hears Teddy. How are you, Sexy?
Every now and again. I wear a robe all the time. It's much more comfortable. Thank you. I'm good.
Who doesn't wear a robe? You kidding me? I look stylish in it, too. I like it. I like it.
I bet you've got some little slippers to go with it, too.
Oh, absolutely. I wear the short robe, too. You got to give them a little something to look at. You know what I mean? You want to put them in the mood. So
right.
One of the things that's amazing when you talk about getting in the mood, I mean, when you look at the market overall and the massive growth, and you look at the results, I mean, there are funds out there, Vanguard funds, that are 15+% annual return. I mean, if you just step back and look at the way in which the new policies stripping the old theft of the green energy movement. By the way, I did a little research. Joe Biden, $3 trillion in green energy movement. Forget all the other stuff, COVID and the rest. $3 trillion nobody can find. It's a miracle what's been able to happen here in a very short period of time if you just step back and look at all of the money that's been added to the debt, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, which one do you want to? I mean, are you talking about how well Trump's done or how bad they did before him?
Well, I'm talking about how corrupt it was and how it mirrored as an economy and how different it is now that it's being privatized. But more importantly, how we've been able to shed off the $3 trillion that you can't trace in just green energy. By the way, all those battery plants, all of them, the Biden administration, all gone, all closed, all the solar, all gone, all closed, all the wind gone and closed. I mean, that money's in the wind.
Yeah,
ironically.
And exactly. I think one of the poster child acts of that whole administration was the $8 billion we spent on 7 charging stations. I mean, where does that $8 billion go? I mean, that's it's the height of ineptness, but at the same time, where'd the money go? I mean, you just must have put in the 7 stations and went to a different country. I don't get it. But you're right. We've done – this has been fantastic. And the Republicans, I think, are dropping the ball here a little bit because they don't tout all of the great things that have happened in the last year and a half, 2 years. And I don't know why, but he's done so many great things by getting rid of regulation, lowering taxes for the people that matters the most with no tax on tips and the Social Security and overtime. I mean, you can go down the list. And then at the same time, I'm so happy that he's in power as we get into the teeth of this AI trade, because artificial intelligence is the fourth industrial revolution. It's going to be a really big deal, and he gets it, and so he's going to help foster that. And I think there's a large part of that going through. And then think about it. Anthropic, OpenAI, and SpaceX are going to be listing IPOs this year. SpaceX is coming around in the next couple of weeks. That's going to be $1.75 trillion. You add all 3 of those up together, because I think OpenAI is going to be in the fourth quarter and Anthropic's in September, October. It's between $3.5 and $4 trillion of new companies coming to the market. I mean, it's just absolutely astoundingly amazing, and it's going to keep going. I've never It's been a long time I've been this excited about a setup for the market and our economy and how things are going, because I do actually have hope this time.
Well, and what's fascinating, and I would face this as a kid, right? When you start out and the way we started out. And when you would go back to the neighborhood and you tell somebody, oh, I'm going to be a trader. I'm in commodities. I'm trading and this. And they would be like, and it used to drive me nuts, Scott. Oh, for everybody that makes, somebody loses. What are you, out of your fracking mind? That zero-sum mentality of an economy only exists among people who don't understand the economy, like the politicians, the Republicans you alluded to earlier, why they're not describing it. They don't understand it. The economy is not zero-sum. There isn't a winner and a loser. Both win, especially if you're talking about commodities or stocks or what a stock is. The company wins when you buy the stock. You win as the company wins. It's just growth. It is the definition of absolute and total growth. And if you're going to try and thread the needle that you and I talk about and offset the fraud of green energy, one president, $3 trillion, there's only one way to offset it. Growth. Grow it. Grow out of it. Grow out of the problem. Reevaluate the debt, manage it differently. But if you do not grow, you are done. That's the only way we can fight it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing both of them. The other way we can fight it is try to bring in the fraud, the waste, fraud, and abuse, and he's trying to do that as well. So if we can really stoke the economy and bring in the waste, fraud, and abuse, yeah, we're going to get someplace. But the problem is right now we're spending $2 trillion more a year than we actually take in taxes. And so we're getting to the point now, Shaun, just so everybody can understand, we've got about over $1 trillion in just interest we need to pay on the debt that we have on an annual basis every year. But we're getting to the point now that we're going to borrow money to pay for the interest on our debt. So we're borrowing money to pay for interest. That is a doom loop that we have to do something about, because for some reason the guys and girls in Washington can't get their head around the fact that we have to stop spending and we have to balance the budget. That's the problem. If we don't do anything, and we're not probably going to do anything, we're going to be staring at $41 trillion in debt this time next year. And we'll probably add to that if we spend some more for this war. So we have to do something about that. And that's one of the things I think it should be the fly in the ointment here.
Well, that's ghettonomics, right? And ghettonomics will tear you down. But the other side of the coin of what he's doing is very interesting. I was listening to this slob of a governor in Illinois, and they keep touting this. They keep doing this. Balanced budget. We've got another balanced budget, and it's the only way in which that exists is the lie, the financial crime that government is able to tell the people, right? And they can speculate on what they perceive to be revenue in the future, and they can also account for what's called reimbursements, and that means you spend money, or you say you did, in entitlement projects, whether it's health care, whether it's housing, whether it's food stamps, whether it's Social Security. And that's why these states won't turn over their voter rolls, because they're making up people. They're using illegal aliens, and they're pretending to be generous, as Illinois now says they're going to pay tuition for illegal aliens and the rest of it. All this nonsense, right? But ultimately, when you break down just the math, $56 billion is Illinois' new phony, ridiculous budget, right? But 42.9 of that is reimbursements from the federal government. But the caveat is the federal government can shut that off as they force you to turn over not just voter rolls, but who you say you're giving this to. And if he can do what we know he can do, prove that a tremendous percentage of that, if not all of it, well, not all of it, but a tremendous percentage of it is completely fake, as it is in Minnesota, as it is in California, as it is in New York and New Jersey, now he doesn't have to pay. So if he stiffs these Democrats who have been lying, cheating, and stealing in order to pretend they balance their budgets, that's a tremendous savings. It's never been done before, but has there ever been more of the right guy in a position to do it?
Yeah, I mean, he and Mark Mullins, I like what they've been thinking about. You're exactly right. If they don't come to heel, I don't understand how you can defy federal law anyway, but that's for somebody with a bigger pay grade than me, because it doesn't work with my common sense. But also these folks that are not letting ICE do their jobs and the likes. Mark Mullins is thinking about, well, I'll just take everybody out of the security at the airports and let whomever comes in come in. I'm not going to sit here and be your whipping boy. So at some point in time, somebody's got to play the other card and let these people, the sanctuary city and sanctuary state is the dumbest thing in the world. It should be illegal. I think it is. But I don't know why we don't call them out on it, because why does anybody think, you say Illinois spends? Illinois is only spending what it takes in taxes. So can you imagine I mean, if somebody asked anybody in the state of Illinois, do you think you should pay for an illegal immigrant's college? No. But that's what your government's doing.
Well, it's a smokescreen the way I see it, because all they have to do is say they spent it. They don't have to. Who are you going to believe? And the way in which the governments do accounting, you couldn't run a property management company the way the federal government and state governments run. They run it out of one account. So it's one giant fraud. It's never really gone through a forensic audit, which is why government is trying to sell the fear of what's called artificial intelligence, which is just intelligence that a computer does that can't be bribed, doesn't give a rip what politician you are. It just wants the right answer. And I'm telling you, I think that AI is going to be a multi-level win for every honest American as it grows the economy massively. And it will not tolerate these lies of politicians. It's going to look at things and say, what the hell are you doing? This is completely inaccurate, wrong.
You could already plug it in right now and ask Claude or ChatGPT what these books look like to the Illinois books. They would tear them apart, absolutely tear them apart. They could do it right now.
And when you look about how it's going to solve problems where we turn to people we think are experts, when you really sit back and think of what you and I and decent people have been arguing about, let's just take, for example, the lie of climate change, the lie of the predictions and the fear-mongering. The computer models that they were using were fraudulent. Another computer that checks that those equations will prove that it is fake. When you really think, if you let this go on policies, everything from healthcare to green energy, and then on top of it, you eliminate the incompetence of man, where I don't have to go to a doctor. I could ask my computer. I could ask my AI. I could ask my robot in the future. The robot can change me. And now I'm not dependent on these services that they have been used to steal money. I mean, this is just the tip of how good it's going to get in a very short period of time. When you think it isn't that long ago, we were impressing girls at bars with the pager we used to have from the Merc. Remember, we would read the little words? Oh, that thing was fantastic. They thought I was a doctor.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, with the big ChatGPTs that we have out there now, Claude and the likes, why do we need a Fed?
Exactly.
I mean, all they do is collate information and come up with an idea. That's exactly what artificial intelligence does. I would get rid of the Fed yesterday. I'd get rid of the Bureau of Labor Statistics yesterday. Why? We're going to get a jobs number on Friday. We should know to the minute how many jobs it is. Why do we have to wait? I don't understand. This is going to really revamp everything, and it's going to tear the you-know-what out of the government, and it's perfect. Going to be good.
It's exactly what we need at exactly the right time, and these are exactly the right people. I have never been more impressed with Scott Besson. I never heard of the fracking guy outside of obscure knowledge of the George Soros, how he imploded the pound. And when you really step back and look at it, he wants to do it. He wants to release this. And you talk about these major bureaucracies in the federal government. You're 100% right. But you and I have been talking about this about assessors' offices, about the minutia of bureaucracy that exists in what used to be our great city, now a third world ghetto. You take it to Cook County and all these counties around. You could eliminate all of these positions. After all, it's already being done. Everybody knows to the foot what property is valued at. Why do you need any of these idiots? And the excuse they have, we couldn't get the bills out in time. All of it's automated in the private sector. Bring it to the public, force them all out, and clean it all up.
I agree. And I used to love that city. It was a beautiful city. I spent a lot of time all over the world. It held its own. But now you look at some of these property prices. I'm sure you're involved with it because you know property way better than I do. But I feel like getting sucked back in. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to let them do it because all they're going to do is they're going to sell you a nice place for a decent price, and then watch what happens to your real estate tax, and you're going to get absolutely taken to the cleaners. I am staying so far away from that place, I'm never going back.
Well, did you hear about the borrowed ghettonomics, right? So they borrow money. City of Chicago borrows money, $1.2 billion in phony money put together by the same meatheads that sell them the bonds at high rates. And they say, all right, we're going to give you more. You're just going to pay more. And there's a program now where you could, as a couple, let's say you and I, because now this is the thing, especially in Chicago, let's say we admit our love for each other and we get married. You and I, we could make up to $285,000 or $284,000 a year as a couple and still get $70,000 for a down payment for a new home purchase in Chicago.
Oh.
Well, that's the backdoor socialism. There's social engineering it. Now you're going to have to say you're a clubfoot transvestite from Peru, and I will be a Guatemalan gangbanger, but we'll get the $70,000. Are you in?
Let's go for it. 35 each.
And that's exactly how easy it's going to be, because there's social engineering real estate purchases and backdoor fluffing up prices that shouldn't be as high as they are, which in essence, because of this phony down payment, you're talking about 70 grand. 70 grand for a down payment and closing costs. So now you keep these prices, you could actually make them higher than where they are, but it's all fake.
Well, they're gonna.
It's all money. It's all fake money.
When the exactly right. Anytime the government gets involved with money, healthcare, school, guarantee you these prices are going to go higher, and that's going to help them in another way too. They have more to assess real estate values on for the tax purposes. So, what a absolute circle jerk of charade that's going to be.
And now here's the other thing. Once we own the property, let's say you say, I want to go to Fiji, honey. And I say, me too. Walk away. Default. Who gives a rip? We don't have a nickel in there. It's all phony money. Never pay. Never pay. 70,000 property. Take you 3 years to kick us out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Look.
You want to talk about a system set up to get worse. It's wherever these Democrats are. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the tip of the iceberg. I mean, look what's happening in California and in Minnesota. I mean, that's nothing compared to what's going on there.
Now, I have to tell you, you said I know real estate in Chicago. I do and I don't, right? I haven't done it in 10 years. I haven't participated in any real estate in Chicago. But I have to tell you, when I went back for the smoker. I went past my old neighborhood. I'm telling you, man, it is third world stuff. When you go through the lesser neighborhoods that surrounded Mount Rose Park and you go through the other neighborhoods, Maywood and the rest of it, it's unbelievable, right? And now you come down to, I drove through all these states, and it's amazing. There's no vacancies. In fact, if there is a vacancy, it says coming soon. It's a new business. It's a small business. It's a medium business. And now there's Samsung is leaving New Jersey after grants. All these EV plants that were done, closing. Ford has closed 6 plants that they had for their EV and the battery. They partnered with the South Korean company throughout the country, mainly in all Democrat areas. I mean, what happens? I mean, I hate to say it, but why wouldn't everything be like Cairo if all of it is based in subsidies and fraudulent money that they never even finished the jobs? The green energy movement is defunct for at least the next 2.5, 3 years because he removed Chevron deference, which is huge.
Yeah, and then if we do get another Republican, president, that'll keep going. You're right. This is what's going to, again, I bring it up every time. I talked about it on my show today. We're going to have more and more people flooding to the southeast and in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. I'll throw those in there too, that just have had enough. And you've seen what's happening in California with the voting there. People are slowly but surely waking up to the fact that nobody's out for them. Nobody's looking out for them. And you know what? We're going to see more and more of these socialist mayors elected in some of these big blue cities in the north, and you're going to see more and more money flow to the south. That's just going to be the way it is.
I also can't help but notice you're seeing exactly what we needed, the realization of these three-party candidates who may pretend to be and have to be running under Republicans, but they're not. Whether you look at Hilton or you look at this kid who's going to be the mayor in L.A., if they win 1 and 2, you will now get a resurgence of people who want to succeed going back to California. You could see in real time exactly the allegations people like you and I make. If Democrats run it, the quality of life sucks. The money is stolen. If they don't, it's better. This may actually be the greatest thing that we're watching in real time. If they can secure the mayor and the governor of California, you can make California great again.
I mean, in California, I lost 106 millionaires the last 3 years. 106 millionaires. And they all went to basically Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. It's amazing that these people can't look in the mirror and see, this is not working out. I'm losing a lot of people. I'm losing a lot of tax base. I should change my way. No, they double down. And that's what they're doing. That's what Pritzker's doing, too. I don't understand. It's almost like they're committing Harry Carey. They want to kill themselves. I don't know why, because so much, you look, Chicago and San Francisco are beautiful cities. Now they're dumps.
Well, and the other thing too is if you really look at the Pritzkers, this is the closest he ever got to anything, any job. I mean, he was a laughingstock of the family. Everybody knew it, and that's not, that's like being a tall midget when you take a look at that Fred Flintstone-looking family. But he never really was part of any of the decision making. He's a punchline. Anything he ever manages because they didn't want to deal with it and they needed the write-off. That's J.B. Write-Off. Pritzker should be his real name. And when you look at for the first time in his life, he pretends to have a job.
I don't think it's going to sell. I think outside of these Democrat fiefdoms, he's a punchline. I mean, everybody I talk to here, they laugh at the fact. I got guys in Florida sending me stuff. Look at this idiot. Look what he said today. I mean, outside of these Democrat fiefdoms, these people are punchlines, and California's proven it right.
I agree, but I mean, what's going to happen in Chicago or in Illinois that could turn that place around right now? I mean, why would you want to get involved? I mean, at least California is beautiful. What are you going to do with Chicago? I mean, what are you going to do with Illinois? I mean, nothing. Look, I love farmers. I love farming. But as far as, there's not a big Illinois tourism board, if you get my drift.
All right, so I'm dying to buy you dinner. You know I am. So we're going to bet, and we're going to put a time limit on it. You ready for this?
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
By the end of this year, the federal government will take up the 33 counties in Illinois that voted for secession, and the federal government will start to lean on the Pritzker administration, on the Chicago Mafia Democrats that run Springfield, and it will be the first time since the Civil War that the federal government backs some form of reorganization, a state the way it's drawn up on a map. I think Illinois will be the first state in the country to have counties that successfully secede to Indiana. I believe it. I'm calling it right now.
All right. I think that could happen in Washington State as well, by the way. They're thinking about the same thing up there.
You always got to one-up me. It's the same thing when we would talk to girls. You always got to be a one-upper. You could have the hot one. I'll take the chubby one, all right?
Well, then we'll average out the same. That's great. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. I always appreciate you making time. RFD TV, Scott the Cow Guy Close, or it's the Cow Guy, or Scott the Cow Guy Close, right?
Cow Guy Close with Scott the Cow Guy, yeah.
Yeah, Kurt sends it to me because I still can't tell time. I appreciate you. I appreciate you making time. Say hello to the wife, the good one,
brother.
the hot one you picked up. Thank you.
All right.
Say hello to her fat friend that I married. All right, I'll see you later.
Bye.
He's Shaun Thompson.
Hello, Mr. Thompson.
And this is the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited